Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I have my 2022 favorites video. This is going to be a huge video, you guys, because I don't know if I've ever done this in the past, but I'm going to be talking about more than just my beauty and skincare, makeup related kind of favorites. I have a really long list of everything that I loved last year, and I'm so excited to share it with you guys. I hope you enjoy, and if you guys want to see everything that I just absolutely loved in 2022, make sure to keep on watching. This year for my makeup favorites, I tried to do 1 or 2 products per category so I could share my favorites that way with you guys. So starting off with foundation and complexion products, I have 2 that I want to share with you guys. The first is my favorite foundation this year, and that is the Believe Beauty Skin Finish Foundation. I wear this in the shade Buff. I love this foundation. It is $5, high, medium to almost full coverage, and it is so good. One of those products that looks so good on the skin, you can't believe it was only $5, and I highly recommend this to everyone. And I don't think a lot of people even know that this exists for $5 at Dollar General, so definitely make sure to run and try this. It is such a good, affordable foundation. Something a little bit more of a light coverage, a little bit more day-to-day friendly is the Fenty Beauty Ease Drop Blurring Skin Tint. This is so good, you guys. I used this so often last year, and I even used up a whole one and repurchased it because it was a constant for me in my makeup routine. It's just one of those like easy throw on, you don't have to think about it too hard type of products that makes your skin look good, even, glowy, and like you tried so much harder than you did. I wear this in the shade 7. I also can get away with shade 5, but I think 7 overall is a little bit of a better match for me, especially when I have a little bit of a tan. And just for reference, in the Fenty foundation, I wear like 190 or 210, depending on my skin tone. So 7 is like a really nice happy medium. My favorite primer this year, probably close to being my favorite primer ever, but I refuse to give it that spot because it was limited edition and it's not available anymore, which I hate so much. Falling in love with limited edition products, but the e.l.f. Dunkin Putty Primer, I think this is called like their Glazed Donut Putty Primer. Oh, you guys, I am going to be so upset and sad when I run out of this because this primer was a dream. I still have a lot left, but I know I'm gonna run out eventually one day. This is like my favorite original putty primer, but creamier, more luminous, you guys. It is hydrating. It is just the best thing for my skin underneath foundation, and I don't want it to run out. A good thing about it though is that a little bit goes a long way, so I know it's going to last me for a little while. But if anyone from e.l.f. or Dunkin corporate / beauty collaboration, if they even have a department like that, please bring this back. Thank you. For concealer, same thing as foundation. I have a drugstore and a high-end that really stood out to me this year. The high-end one I actually finished and don't have anymore, but it is the Rare Beauty Liquid Touch Concealer, I think it is. I mentioned this in my last vlog. I don't know if they're discontinuing this or what, but I literally cannot find my shade anywhere. I wear the shade 210N, which is perfect for my skin tone, but this concealer is so good. Definitely gonna be sad if they're discontinuing that one because it is my favorite high-end concealer ever. It is just hydrating, luminous underneath the eyes. It's very natural looking, but still has a lot of coverage as well. Just everything I could want in the concealer I love, and I love the doe foot applicator on that one. And then for a drugstore concealer, I fell in love with the NYX Bare With Me Concealer Serum. This I think launched over the summer and it was very popular online, had a lot of hype around it. And I definitely see why this was popular and hyped up for a good reason. I wear this in the shade Vanilla, which is a little tiny bit on the light side, but also gives me a nice brightening effect. It's actually the concealer that I am wearing today. Lots of luminosity, has a nice hydrating factor, which I'm assuming is from the serum, but this looks gorgeous underneath the eye. It lasts all day. It doesn't look dry or like cracking, is that the right word? You guys know what I mean, underneath the eye, but it's a really, really great drugstore concealer. And I don't use or try much from NYX anymore, but I'm really glad that I tested this one out. It kind of reminds me a lot of the MAC, what's it called? I cannot think of that MAC concealer for the life of me, but it kind of reminds me of that, but a step down in coverage and a lot more luminous as well. You have a lot more playtime. It doesn't dry as fast as the MAC one. So overall, I really loved this concealer last year, and then also the Rare Beauty one, my top two for sure. Jumping on into blush, I loved blush in 2022. If you guys have been watching me for a while, you'll know that I never even used to wear blush, and I was scared of blush because I had acne and like redness on my skin. But I love blush nowadays, you guys, specifically cream blush. I have been loving two of them. I really fell in love with the e.l.f. Putty blush in the shade Tahiti. This is like $6 on the e.l.f. website or Ulta. The best way that I can describe this shade of blush is almost raspberry, like a mauve raspberry. It is the perfect pink shade for me because it's pretty neutral. It's not too warm. It's not too cool. It doesn't lean purple or anything. So a nice like muted raspberry, I would say, is the best way to describe this shade, and it is my favorite cream blush. And you guys can see I've used this a ton and I've barely even made a dent in it. The e.l.f. Putty products last a really, really long time. Just like everyone else this last year, I loved the Rare Beauty liquid concealer. I have mine in the shade Joy, which I feel like I didn't see a lot of people talking about this specific shade. It's almost like a hot orange, borderline red shade, which I really loved. I love this specifically now that it's like cold winter, to get like that cold girl makeup look that has been trending everywhere. But seriously, you need like the teeny tiniest bit of this blush, like not even a whole dot. I actually wipe off the applicator so much and just like boop, barely touch my cheek. And this has so much color payoff. It is a little bit fast drying, so you do have to work with it pretty quickly to get it blended out and like how you want it to look on the skin. But if you want just like a very intense color, those Rare Beauty liquid blushes are the way to go. Finally, for blush, I absolutely fell in love with the Patrick Ta Double Take Cream and Powder Blush in the shade She's That Girl. I've actually never tried the cream, which is pretty interesting because I love cream blushes. This is the cream on top, and it has this little, if I could open it, this little like window on it, so the powder doesn't get into the cream. But this powder blush, you guys, it is what dreams are made of. It is my absolute perfect pink blush. It is so pigmented. It looks so nice on my skin tone. That's what a little swatch looks like of the powder blush on my finger, but it is just like my ideal pinky blush. I have it on today, and I definitely feel like it makes just the biggest difference in my makeup routine. I love this. For bronzer, I picked the e.l.f. Putty bronzer. Just like the blush, it is so affordable, pigmented, easy to use, and I think this is like my second or third one of these. I've gone through a ton of these putty bronzers. Specifically in the shade Honey Drip is just the perfect tone for my skin tone. I promise you, do not sleep on e.l.f.'s putty products. They are absolutely amazing. So easy to work with, affordable, and they last a really long time. So definitely my top blush of not blush. This was hands down my top bronzer of last year. It was a no-brainer for me. For highlighter, I had to think about this one a little bit because honestly, I fell off of wearing highlighter a lot. I haven't worn it a ton. The one that came to mind that I did really like more earlier on last year is the Merit Beauty Highlighting Balm in the shade Kava. I know I've talked about this on my channel before. It's basically just a very like wet, balmy highlighter, if you guys can see, and this looks gorgeous on the face. So this is probably the only highlighter that I even used last year, but I would say overall highlighter as a whole step in my makeup routine wasn't a favorite last year. I didn't wear it a lot at all, but when I did, it was always this one. Of course, for brows, no explanation needed. The Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz in the shade Chocolate. It's my ride or die. It's my favorite for like the 7th or 8th year in a row now, so that's enough said about this. If you know, you know. Something new for me for brows though that I absolutely fell in love with and now I cannot do my brows without is this Patrick Ta Shaping Wax, and this is the tinted one. You guys, this shaping wax is so good. I feel like I've been seeing a lot of people on like this brow wax, brow glue, like a brow shaper, I guess you can say overall. I never thought that I would love a product like this, but this makes my eyebrows look so natural, so feathery, so thick, and it keeps them in place all day. Like I said, I cannot do my eyebrows without this, and I absolutely love it. All you do is just spritz a little bit of water or setting spray in here, take your spoolie to activate it, and it just completely transforms my brows, and I never do my eyebrows without this. It is so good. Even on days when I'm not wearing a full face of makeup, I'll just like run this through my brows and it makes the biggest difference. I was never sculpting my brows before, but now it's like I'll never not sculpt my brows again. For mascara and eyeliner, no surprise here, my Essence Lash Princess. Again, doesn't need a whole explanation. This has been my favorite for years. It's only $5, affordable and amazing. Go buy it. For eyeliner, I fell back in love with liquid liner in like the last half of 2022, specifically because of this Essence Lash Princess liner. I didn't even know that they made this, you guys, and it's so cute and tiny. Like in comparison to the mascara, this is so adorable. But I saw this in Ulta. I was really intrigued. I knew I had to try it and I absolutely love it. If you guys kind of fell off of liquid liner or doing little wings with liner, definitely try this, specifically in the shade brown. I love because it's really soft. It's really easy to work with. If you make a mistake, it's not harsh and you can't really tell that you made a mistake, and it is just so easy to work with. Like the easiest and best time I've had doing my liquid liner in a couple of years. So good. Moving on to lips. For lip liner, I loved the e.l.f. Love Triangle Lip Filler Liners. These are my favorite lip liners that I have ever tried. They are affordable, so user-friendly. They glide on so easy. They last such a long time. And I have 3 of them. So today I'm wearing the shade Soft Pink, which is like a beautiful rosy nude. Love that lip liner. If I want something a little bit darker, I love light brown when I want more of an intense brown kind of lip. And then I also have it in the shade Red Rouge for a red lip. They are scroll up liners, so they don't have to be sharpened, which I love, but the triangle tip on this just makes it so easy to line your lips, to slightly overline your lips. Just really, really user friendly, and I'll show you guys just kind of like how easy this glides on. And again, this one is Soft Pink, which is one that I wear almost every single day. The one lipstick that really stood out to me in 2022 is the L'Oreal Color Reach lipstick in the shade Masterpiece. This is 802. I don't know if they make this anymore. I found mine on Amazon because my last one was really, really old, but this was like my go-to everyday lipstick. Just that perfect pinky nude shade, but you can manipulate it with a lip liner. So if you want more of a pinky nude, I'll use the pink e.l.f. lip liner. If I wanted more of like a brown nude, a little bit of a darker lip, I'd use that brown lip liner. Overall, just like that perfect lipstick to go with any lip liner, and you can kind of change up the look with only using one lipstick. So just like my perfect universal nude color last year. So let's go ahead and chat skincare. So in this video, I'm not gonna show things that I've used for years and years, like my CeraVe Daily Moisturizing Cream or my Nivea Body Lotion. I'm sure you guys are tired of hearing about those things, but a couple things that I've recently loved this past year. The first one being the La Roche-Posay, their Double Repair Face Moisturizer. One of them is sunscreen with broad spectrum SPF 30, and then one of them has no sunscreen in it. Love this one for daytime, love this one for nighttime. This has been just like my favorite facial moisturizer recently. These are so hydrating yet gentle on the skin, and they both have ceramides, niacinamides, prebiotic thermal water, just so many lovely ingredients that my skin loves and feels so hydrated and so moisturized. Towards the end of 2022, Versed Skincare reached out to me and just added me to their PR list, which I am so grateful for. And they sent me a couple of their best sellers, and this skin soak, you guys, oh my gosh, I'd never tried anything from Versed. And quite frankly, you guys know I am a creature of habit because of my skincare routine, but I am absolutely obsessed. This is the best rich moisturizer for nighttime. I absolutely love it. I feel like I can't even sleep unless I'm using this on my skin. I love everything about this. The packaging too is really cute, that like pinky tan with the black lettering, but this formula, you guys, it's incredible. Here's what it looks like so you guys can see, and it's also unscented, which makes it even more perfect. So I just realized I skipped over a makeup product because it was grouped in with my skincare, which I guess you could see this as a skincare product. So this is the Rare Beauty. I think it's called her illuminating mist. I'm not exactly sure what it's called. I love this from Rare Beauty. I'm wearing it on my skin today. Once I'm done with my makeup, this just makes everything melt together so nicely. It adds a really nice luminous look to the skin without making you look greasy or too shiny. I wouldn't necessarily say it makes my makeup last longer, so I wouldn't call it a setting spray. It's just more of like a finishing spray, and I love it. It looks so good on the skin. In 2022, I made it a point to really keep up with my lactic acid. I was trying that, I think it's called skin cycling, correct me if I'm wrong, where it was like lactic acid, retinol, then just 2 days of regular moisturizer. And I love this one from The Ordinary. I know I've talked about it on my channel before. So it's their 10% lactic acid plus hyaluronic acid. This helps keep the texture on my skin down a lot. And I'll just go in with this every 3 to 4 days. And I feel like it's just made such a huge difference in my skincare routine. I'm actually almost empty, so I'll definitely be repurchasing this soon, but a great addition. Lastly, for skincare is like lip products and lip balm. I really love the Laneige lip sleeping mask. I use this pretty much night and day, not really just to sleep in. It's a really nice, like hydrating, thick mask, especially in the winter time when my lips need a little bit of extra love and care. I like using this. Just for day-to-day use, I have one of these literally everywhere. My desk, my purse, my work bag, my vanity here, my nightstand. I have like 5 of these going at once because I need one everywhere. It's the Vaseline Lip Therapy, and I swear this is the only thing that truly works to keep my lips hydrated throughout the day. I've tried so many traditional like chapstick, Burt's Bees, Nivea. Vaseline is where it's at, you guys, for the lips. I'm pretty sure this is just 100% petroleum jelly, and it is like the only thing that I don't want to keep grabbing for and reapplying all day. It just keeps like one application and I'm set for a couple hours. My lips stay so hydrated and protected in the winter time with this. I love it. I am sure most of you know that I totally fell in love with reading in the year 2022. It has become just a passion of mine and a hobby, and I love it so much. My top reading favorite, I guess you could say, over the last year is e-reading and reading on my Kindle. I love reading on my Kindle, you guys. I didn't think that I would. When I first started reading, I was physical copies only. I was like, I wouldn't like reading on a Kindle. Who wants to read on a Kindle? Who wants to read on a phone? That's what was going through my mind, and I was telling other people. I refused to e-read for so long, but it seriously changed the reading game for me, you guys. I read a ton on my Kindle, and it's actually my preferred way of reading. I feel like I read faster. I feel like I read more because it's just convenient, and you could read in the dark, you could read easier on the go. It's just overall given me such an amazing reading experience. As like cheesy as that might sound, I love my Kindle, and I believe I have the 11th edition, I think, of the Kindle Paperwhite, the 2021 release. Definitely a top favorite of mine over the last year. Now I want to jump into my top 4 books of 2022. It's technically my top 9 books, I guess you could say, but 5 of those books were one series. So I'm going to count it just as 4 books, or 3 books and a series, I guess you could say. I would say in no particular order either, because all of these books are all different genres and made me feel different things. So my favorite romance book of the year was Things We Never Got Over by Lucy Score. I've talked about it before. You guys know that I absolutely loved this book. I loved the characters. I loved the grumpy sunshine, small town dynamic, the spiciness in this book. It was overall just absolutely amazing. Definitely my favorite romance novel of the year, and I'm so looking forward to the follow-up to this book, which I believe comes out in February. So I'm super excited and looking forward to that. But if you guys have not read Things We Never Got Over yet, I definitely recommend it. It's almost 600 pages, so a little bit of a time commitment. It's a little bit lengthy, but I read it on my Kindle. I flew through it in about a week, I want to say. That book has like a permanent place in my brain. I think about it pretty much every single day. I loved it so much. My favorite series of the year, which I literally recommend to everyone, so good. Definitely check the trigger warnings on this one. It's a dark romance, crime, serial unaliver type of situation, but so good. If you guys have not read the MindF series, keeping it more family friendly here on my channel by St. Abby. Please run and read that series. There are 5 books in this series. They are all available on Kindle Unlimited and they are very fast, easy reads. I think each book was like 85 to 130 pages. It's definitely a series that I wish I could read for the first time all over again. And just to give you guys a little synopsis, like I said, it is a darker kind of romance. Definitely check the trigger warnings on this before jumping on into it. She's committing a lot of bad crimes over and over again, and she falls in love with the FBI agent on her case without knowing it. So it's just really a crazy story. It is so good. It's really crazy because you know, like everything she's doing is so wrong, but I was rooting for her the whole entire time. So definitely check out this series. I know so many people will love it. If you guys are looking for a psychological thriller that will literally have you just like sucked in the whole time, I highly recommend The Housemaid by Frida McFadden. I flew through this book in like a day and a half and I am now obsessed with Frida McFadden and just reading more and more of her books because she writes so good and the concept of this book is just insane. You guys have to read this one. Again, the sequel or the second book in the series is also coming out in February. So I highly recommend reading this one soon if you are going to read it. So just like the title implies, it is about a housemaid named Millie, and she starts working for and moves in with like a very rich family, like mom and dad, kids. And as she's living with them and working for them, things start going really wrong. People start getting really weird. But the twist in this book, I never saw it coming. And I'm usually a romance reader, but I have been so much more into psychological thrillers after reading this book. It kind of opened up a whole new genre for me. And again, the second one in the series is coming out in February, so I'm so excited to read that one. My last favorite book of the year is the only physical book that was like a top favorite for me in 2022, and that is Archer's Voice by Mia Sheridan. I guess you could classify this as a romance. It is considered a romance. I know I said Things We Never Got Over was my favorite romance, but that's more of like a happy, like fun romance. This is a rip your heart out and sob kind of romance, you guys. This is the only book that has ever made me cry and scream and just feel all of the emotions. If you guys are looking for a romance that is a little bit more on the sad side, a little bit heavier, again, check the trigger warnings on this one, but I highly recommend this. Mia Sheridan has such beautiful writing and just the way I was like sucked into this book and I couldn't put it down. I never wanted it to end. And like I said, it was the only book that actually made me cry ever. It had to be in like my top 4 of this year. It is a beautiful book. Of course, I couldn't do a favorites video without including some sort of clothing, accessory kind of favorite section. So the first thing that I want to talk about are my favorite shoes of 2022. And these are dirty and beat up, which shows how much I love them. So don't judge me. These are my Nike Air Force Ones. They're not the original, like the Air Force One 0707. I don't know that much about shoes, you guys. I think they're the Pixels. I will have the exact ones linked down below. These were definitely my top shoe of the year. I pretty much wore them almost every single day. And I think my favorite thing about Air Force Ones is of course how comfortable they are, but they literally go with everything, whether I'm wearing sweatpants, leggings, jeans. I've worn these under dress pants. I've worn them under dresses and skirts. They seriously go with everything. And I kind of like the look of like business casual with the Air Force One. It has just been my favorite. And like I said, these are a little bit dirty and beat up, but they are overall just like my favorite everyday, like already broken in comfortable sneaker. And whenever someone wants a sneaker recommendation, I always say the Air Force Ones. My second favorite pair of sneakers this year were the Nike Huaraches. These are seriously like the perfect running errand sneaker, casual sneakers. These are seriously like walking on a cloud, you guys. These are the most comfortable sneakers I've ever tried. Definitely would recommend sizing up at least a half the size in these. I'm typically a 9 in Nike and the Air Force Ones and pretty much all other sneakers. In the Huaraches, I grabbed a 9.5, and I probably could have even done a 10, but I think I've broken these in enough now that they are comfortable. But I love how they look. They're just different and fun and just like walking on a cloud. I love these. Also loved my UGG slippers in 2022. I've had these for a little bit over a year now, and I think that they're still in pretty good condition. These are their Scuffette, I believe they're called. It's like their classic slipper, but a little bit thinner on the bottom here, so it's not like that thick and chunky sole. Of course, the fur and the lining on the inside is a little bit flatter than when I first got it. That naturally happens, I feel like, with all slippers, but they are still very comfortable, very, very warm and cozy. I think I found the best Amazon leggings based off of the recommendation of Alexandra Rodriguez here on YouTube. I've mentioned before, I absolutely love her and her channel and her vlogs. She has the best recommendations, you guys, and I love these leggings. I will definitely have them linked down below. If you are mid-size or plus size, you definitely have to try out these leggings. It's been impossible for me to find leggings that don't like fall down after a while, that don't slip down or feel like too tight in the band area. Kind of finding just like that perfect balance in my leggings. But these Amazon leggings recommended by Alex are so good. They are so soft and buttery. I've washed them a couple times. They wash really well. I grabbed these for 2 for $20 on Amazon. I'm not sure if they're 2 for $20 all of the time or if that was just a special sale, but I will definitely have them linked in my Amazon storefront if you guys want to check them out. And I also do think that they come in straight sizes as well, but just for reference, I did purchase the plus size and I got the extra large, which I think is the smallest plus size available, if that makes sense. But so good. Definitely try these if you guys are on the hunt for like the perfect legging. I loved my Key Sunnies last year. These are the high key, the oversized black gradient fade. I wore these pretty much like every single day. I just love how they look on me. I feel like this is very flattering on my facial shape. They got a little stretched out and big because I used to pick them up and put them on the top of my head, but that definitely stretched them out a little bit. So I have to kind of try to get them back to be a little more snug on my face. I love how these look on me, and I love oversized sunnies because I do have a little bit of a bigger head, a little bit of a bigger face. I just feel like these look so good on me, and I literally threw them on with like every outfit, casual, not casual, whatever it was. It just like always took that look to the next level. I feel like there's just something about a good pair of sunglasses that makes you look put together, even if you didn't really try too hard. Also from Amazon, I wanted to shout out this little bag that I have been loving. This was amazing for when I went on vacation. I really wanted something small, hands-free, not that I had to worry about like keeping on my shoulder or really hanging too long on me crossbody this way, but it just seriously crosses over your body like this. It sits so comfortably. It holds a decent amount of stuff. Of course, it doesn't hold a ton because of its size, but I could fit my phone, sunglasses without the case, and then it has card slots as well. So you don't have to fit a whole wallet in here, just some cards and cash. Hopefully you guys can see there how it just kind of sits and it's completely secure to your body. The strap is adjustable, which is really great, and this was definitely like one of my favorite Amazon finds of the year. I feel like at this point I probably should have done like a whole other Amazon favorites video because a lot of the stuff that I love this year was from Amazon, but I definitely have a ton of other stuff in mind that I want to make another Amazon video for. Last but not least, I want to wrap up this video with the scents and perfumes and body sprays that I loved in 2022. So my perfume of choice this year that I really loved is the Dolce & Gabbana The Only One perfume. Now this is more of like my fall winter perfume when I want something a little bit more like warm and cozy. It's a little bit spicy at the same time. Its key notes are violet, bergamot, coffee, iris, vanilla, and patchouli, which I really like patchouli. A lot of my perfumes that I've liked in the past are like floral with patchouli in them, but I love you really get some of that coffee, some of that vanilla. It's like a lot of warm and cozy ingredients all in one, and it smells so good. When I want something a little bit lighter, brighter, a little more fruity, something fun for the summertime, or honestly all year round, whenever I overall just want a little bit of a lighter scent, I love the Sol de Janeiro Brazilian Crush Cheirosa, I don't know how to say that. Number 68. This perfume smells so good, you guys. Some of the notes are dragon fruit, lychee or lychee, I think it's lychee, Brazilian jasmine, ocean air, hibiscus, sheer vanilla, and sun musk. So definitely have those top fruity notes, some floral, some vanilla. It's just a really Really, really good scent. I love this, and I get a lot of compliments when I wear this as well. So again, it's the Sol de Janeiro Brazilian Crush number 68. All right, you guys, so that is going to complete this video. Those are my 2022 favorites, everything I loved over the last year, and just like my top standout products. I know it was a lot, and I know it was a long video, so thank you so much if you made it all the way to the end to see all of my favorites. I really hope that you guys enjoyed seeing this video and spending time with me today. If you did, please make sure to give this video a thumbs up so I know, and it really helps me out. Also, make sure you guys are subscribed to my channel before you leave. I would love to have you guys here as part of my little YouTube fam. If you don't want to miss out on any of my future videos, click that notification bell down below and you'll get notified every single time that I upload a new video. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and of course, I'll see you in my next one. Bye, guys.